I'd like you to meet the archivist. They archive the best of what drives each planet. And this one's headed to not that one. Not yet. Yeah, that one. It's here to archive human emotions by simulating memories, open worlds with the terrain shaped by the underlying emotion. As you unlock the abilities to navigate them, hidden parts of memories reveal a mystery about the archivist, which you solve. And that's what we have in mind for the open world RPG we plan to build. But getting there is going to require us to take small steps, quite literally, or rather procedurally, as you'll see later in the video. So before I do that, let me first tell you who we are. Hey, I'm Akash, and I've worked with 3D and augmented reality for the last 7 years now, where I've built web-based tools for creators and products that help customers shop easier on India's largest e-commerce marketplace. While I've used 3D to create and render inorganic models of products in the web, what I truly loved about working with 3D was seeing how it could bleed into other parts of my life. Like this custom Lego set that we gave out as our engagement invite. Designed around the terrain of Himachal Pradesh in the Himalayas, it was where my partner Khayati and I were engaged. When she's not shipping code at work, she helps me with game dev on the weekends. While making the set was a dream come true, 3D's also helped me design my space with IKEA and good old photogrammetry to thank for the models. Well, in the scene, both on Blender and real life, is one of two key members helping us build a game, Moonshine. I say one of two because the other standing right next to me and refused to be turned into 3D. Say hello to Kokum. What I look forward to with each project is learning how a different industry approaches working with 3D. Although, when it came to gaming, I had used game engines for everything but building a game. At work, we used Unity to bake 3D scenes, and Unreal to build and stream a 3D shopping verse. That, in hindsight, I'm not very proud of. It made me realize how little I knew about what makes a good game. And I invested in an Xbox to bring back the kid in me. I played one game, then a few, until I started to get what kind of games adult me liked playing. Little did I know that I would fall in love with open world games with a great story. And that doesn't just stop at games. We're suckers for shows that nail emotional storytelling, like Modern Family, or even Bluey, with each 7-minute episode hitting hard. So while rewatching Inside Out recently, I wondered out loud, what would Riley's mind look like as an adult? Khayati, who was playing Zelda at the time, put 2 and 2 together, and just like that, we had our idea. Emotions shaping explorable worlds within memories. But mechanics need to be fun and need a good story to make players care. And that's what we set out to build. I spent a week on the storyline, ensuring that I don't give into any tropes, and once I knew who the protagonist should be, we started thinking of what the player character should look like. I liked the art style of Jason, but when it came to the character, the simplistic design of Monument Valley and Journey stood out. But this would make the character a bit too mysterious. After going down a few rabbit holes on Pinterest, I found this functional bucket hat that gave me an idea. Drawing inspiration from everything that I'd seen, I jumped into Procreate and sketched out this character. The hat doubles as a smart visor, and the plan is to show data on screen in-game. My partner and I liked the colors from this recent collaboration between Moncler and Lavro, which she used as a reference for the color palette. We used pastel blue for the poncho and kept orange as a highlight to make key elements that would be relevant for the player within the game pop. I wanted to use a poncho because, well, it's an archivist, but that's a decision that I'll actually come to regret later on. With the 3 colors set, we have the first version ready to move on ahead. Turning the sketch into 3D required me to brush up my organic modeling skills. Equipped with a video from Joey Carlino, I went from modeling to rigging, while having a ton of fun with the skin modifier. Weight painting the mesh to have it move with the bones was easy, as the mesh was low poly and most parts of it were mirrored. Well, everything but the poncho, Poncho fought me at every turn. Weight painted to the arms, it would break. Attach it to the body and try a new pose, broken again. Hoping that I could fix it later in the game engine, I accepted defeat and shipped it to something I could make immediate progress on. It's funny how you can do something your whole life and never truly observe it. See, I was 3 when I learned to walk. A memory that wasn't captured until 3 years later, when I'd already upgraded how I move. Years later, when I had my brother, I saw him learn to walk, but barely observed the miracle of it. In fact, I never truly did until a few weeks back, when a video showed me 100 ways to do so. With newfound appreciation for the human body, I picked the simplest one and built a walk animation for the character. And to put that to good use, I had to pick a game engine. Picking Unity came down to the familiarity I had from my previous work and how comfortable I was with C# over C++. With that decision made, I pulled the character in, set up a simple controller, linked it to my gamepad's input, and... well, nothing happened. My Mac recognized my controller, but Unity straight up ignored its existence. Then, in a moment of pure frustration, I went wireless. And suddenly, everything just worked. Okay, sort of. The archivist moved, but it looked quite robotic. I wondered if I should spend more time fixing the animation, or if there was a better way out there. Diving into something new always turns into an obsession for me. For weeks, my YouTube history had everything from GMTK videos to GDC talks, and even a few devlogs. But then I stumbled on this GDC talk on procedural animation, and I couldn't look away. Procedural animation for a simple character may have been a bit much, but I had my reasons. The first, unlike Overgrowth, I wasn't building a game engine from scratch. The second, I'd gotten this far in 2 weeks. What's one more if it makes my movie even a bit better? And third, if the physics got tricky, I could break it down to the basics with some handy tools. And just like that, I had my next 1 week milestone. The talk from David is a great blueprint to follow and get started with. Building on my character controller, I wrote a simple script to make movement physics-based. And with that, the character accelerated and decelerated naturally. That was a good start, so I built on it by adding rotation towards the direction of movement, along with a bit of tilt. And just like that, I had a Segway-like character that was extremely fun to play with. Now, what drew me to his approach was the limited poses needed for character animation, with code doing most of the heavy lifting. So I started simple. 2 poses each for walk and run, only on the right side in Blender. Back in Unity, I used a 2D blend tree that changes a phase variable based on 2 things: the distance moved by the character and its speed. To have the animation loop, I simply mirrored the right poses to the left, and this recreated the server wheel approach from the video. Lastly, I added a script to make the camera move with the character, and when I hit play, the archivist finally felt alive. With this done, the perfectionist in me wanted to improve the poses or even fix the poncho, but I knew that I had more important matters to get to. Funny thing about Bangalore traffic, what should be frustrating has actually become time we look forward to, as it's where we figure out what comes next. And we've decided it's time to build an actual level. 1 month to create something playable. Hopefully, when we make another one of these videos, we'll have something you can actually experience.